Madam Chair, I was sitting in my office in a meeting, and I looked up at the TV screen on C-SPAN, and I watched our distinguished chairman put a chart up that said that for every $1 you invest in proactive pre-disaster mitigation, you get $6 in cost savings. I was somewhat shocked because I've used that statistic over and over and over again. And I've also used the statistic that the Congressional Budget Office has a study that says you get $3 in cost savings for every $1 you invest. Corps of Engineers has a study that says you get $7.92 for every $1 you invest. The National Institute of Building Standards says you get $11 in cost savings for every $1 you invest. And you know what? Every single time I've tried to do this, my good friend has voted against me every single time. So this is something that's designed to send out press releases, this bill. It's designed to send out press releases, and let me be clear. Right now, we have well over $100 billion, in resiliency projects that are needed across the nation. Just last year, under a Republican Congress, we put tens of billions of dollars into funding those resiliency projects through the Corps of Engineers, through FEMA. So taking an existing program that manages our coastal resources and expanding the eligibility, expanding the uses of funding without adding new funds, all you're doing is further complicating the very mission that you're trying to achieve. The bill further goes on to give USGS permanent authority, or at least authorizing them over long term, for fisheries management. Fisheries, you know USGS, our fisheries agency. No, they don't manage fisheries. That would be NOAA. This program also takes funds for and does a set-aside of authorization for tribes under coastal zone. We've learned over and over again that the way that you manage your coastal resources is by integrated management, not by breaking it up further and further into smaller and smaller pieces. We already have 35 coastal states and territories. We need to have integrated management. We don't need to have Louisiana doing something to mess up Mississippi or Texas. We need to make sure that we're looking at it holistically as a nation. Look, I have been one of the biggest advocates in this Congress for being proactive and making investments in our communities. I represent South Louisiana, one of the most disaster-impacted areas in our entire nation. The people I represent have been through it all. Hurricanes Katrina, Rita, Gustav, Ike, Isaac. We've had high water on the Mississippi River 4 years. In the last about 6, record high water draining from Montana to New York to Canada on down. This is not the right approach. This is a flawed approach. I would be more than willing, and I can't even believe I'm standing here. My friends have voted against me every single time we've tried to do thoughtful, integrated approaches to actually protect our coastal communities, protect our ecological protection and resources, and to come in and do this in a partisan manner and do it in a way that is totally hypocritical over previous actions is ridiculous. I urge rejection of this bill and that we sit down in a bipartisan manner and work out bipartisan solutions. Yield back.